So when we're conserving grass to make forage for use when grass isn't available, we have two options. We either dry it to the point where the dry matter is around 90%, so we need 10% moisture to preserve it, or we can have a higher moisture content but wrap the product to keep air away to protect the forage inside. So we would recognise those as hay or haylage. And actually we tend to use the term wrapped hay for the vast majority of wrapped forages these days, because in most cases the dry matter is actually nearer to a hay and they just wrap the product with the plastic at the very end, so it's nearly 70-80% dry matter. Hay tends to be harvested later when it's slightly more mature than haylage or wrapped hay. That means that it's more mature and so less digestible, and therefore the horse tends to do less well on it. So it's often used for good doers. Haylages or wrapped hays tend to be harvested earlier because you don't need quite so much time to dry them. So earlier in the season, you've got more chance of getting it conserved in a couple of days of wilt time. And then when you wrap it, it retains some moisture, so when you feel it, it's usually quite clammy. That means that it's very digestible, horses find it very palatable and therefore tend to do very well on it, so it's useful for poor doers where you might want to promote weight gain. Another scenario where you might use wrapped hay or haylage is for the performance horse, so it tends to be a much cleaner forage than hay, which can have a higher mould and dust count.